Hello and welcome to this brief introduction with registering your resource to the NeuroLex. The NeuroLex is a dynamic semantic media wiki powered by the Neuroscience Information Framework that allows anyone on the internet to register their resource, be it a database, a blog, a podcast, a journal, or an information portal, within the media wiki to allow a number of advantages, including increased visibility through search engines like Google and Yahoo, but also through the Neuroscience Information Framework search portal, as the resource will be included into the NIF registry and will be searchable for other neuroscience resources. So you have a neuroscience resource and you want to register it with NeuroLex. The first thing you want to do is log in or either create an account. This is up in the top right, and I already have an account, but if you don't, you can click Create Account here and simply just put in a username, a password, and an email address, and an account will be created for you. There are a number of advantages to creating an account, but most importantly, it will allow you to watch the page, to be notified when your resource has been curated, and if any changes have been made to your resource. So I'm going to register a resource here, the KLI Theory Lab. The KLI Theory Lab has a number of interesting texts here that provide a great resource for those perhaps starting out in neuroscience or psychology, and I think it would be useful to include into the NeuroLex so people can discover this resource. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the name KLI Theory Lab and go back to NeuroLex. I'm logged in, and I'm going to create a new resource, the KLI Theory Lab. Now you can see that I have made the page, and now it's have a form here that's asking me for a description. So I can go back to the KLI Theory Lab, and we can see here that the welcome text is a pretty good description of what type of information can be found in the KLI Theory Lab. So I'll take this, put it in the description, and perhaps other names will include KLI Theory Lab, powerful, what did they say? Powerful scientific database. Powerful The parent organization seems to be the Conrad Institute for Evolutionary and Cognitive Resource, so I'm going to include that. If you have a university or a journal, you can go ahead and include it here. Because this isn't a database, then there's probably not a supporting agency or grant. And for resource type, I'm going to put in an information portal. And you can see that it auto-completes nicely, so I'm going to put information portal. Abbreviation, I'll just put KLI. And of course, the URL is something that we want to include. So I'll go up here, make sure that it's the home URL, copy that, put it in there. The ID will automatically be generated, and I'm going to put in a few keywords here for introductory, information, literature, and it looks like that's a keyword that we already have there. So I have the description, other names, the parent organization, the resource type as information portal, the abbreviation, and now I'm going to click Save Page. Once NeuroLex is done thinking and your page is created, you can go ahead and review to make sure that all the information here is contained. We have our correct URL and the ID has been generated. And one of the last things you want to do, as I mentioned earlier, is watch the page. So if you go up here to More and select Watch, you're now watching the page. So any future changes that are made to this page will be you'll be notified. Once it's registered, the NIF curators will be notified of the new registry entry, and you can see that the status here is currently uncurated. But within 7 days, the curators will curate the resource, and then you'll be able to generate a sitemap. Generating a sitemap is the first step towards the DISCO process, which is explained in another tutorial available on the NIF tutorial pages.